I'm someone who's, let's say, running a supply chain, right?
Yeah,
How do I measure or how do I tell whether I have a good, bad, and okay supply chain process at this point?
yeah.
How do you measure
I think,
that?
yeah. So whatever customers are ordering
Mm-hmm.
onto the node,
Mm-hmm.
if you take the last node on which company has some sort of control or influence, let's say
Sure,
a distributor node,
sure.
there are various retailers. In
Mm-hmm.
India, we are talking of more than 8 million retailers, close
Mm-hmm.
to 10 million retailers.
Mm-hmm.
And many of these retailers would be ordering on the distributor on a daily basis.
Sure.
So let's say the order coming to
Mm-hmm.
the distributor are X.
Mm-hmm.
But to what extent the distributor has the capability to supply these orders on the same day? Is he carrying enough stock
Mm-hmm.
to fulfill these orders? If not, there would be some loss in filling these orders, and that's called the retail fill rate loss.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we track the retailer orders, and then we track the actual supplies against those orders, and establish the retail fill rate, which is a pretty good metric
Okay.
used by various companies. It's not a perfect metric,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
it's a pretty good metric to see to what extent the distributors are stocked out and they are unable to fulfill the order on the same day. That's a good performance measure. The other performance measure is how fresh are the stocks when we are giving it to the retailers. How old are
Okay.
they? What's the balance
Okay.
shelf life
Okay.
of the stocks?
Okay. Okay.
So freshness is another important part, which is sort of a counterbalancing
Mm-hmm.
metric.
Mm-hmm.
So we should have a lean inventory, a lean
Mm-hmm.
supply chain, so that whatever products are
Mm-hmm.
supplied to the retailers, these are as fresh as we can supply them. And it's also a very good measure of how efficient any company's supply chain is. Just if you go to a retailer, a
Mm-hmm.
self-service retail outlet, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's a supermarket, hypermarket, or any of these retail chains,
Mm-hmm.
and if you look at two competing brands, go to any aisle, go to any product. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
you want to buy a hair color, and
Mm-hmm.
you go to the hair color aisle and see various brands, and
Mm-hmm.
just turn the packs to see when these were manufactured, how fresh the stocks are. You may
Right.
find that for one brand, for a
Mm-hmm.
particular brand, the product is just a couple of weeks old
Mm-hmm.
from
Mm-hmm.
manufacturing. For other brands, you may find that it's 6 month old. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously, the company, the brand which is fresher, has a
Mm-hmm.
more efficient and more effective supply chain compared
Right.
to a brand where you find old products on the retail shelf. It's
Right.
an easy measure,
Sure.
easy for the consumers to check
Measure.
which
Yeah.
company has better supply chain, and that's what we should focus on. Firstly, products should be available on the retail shelf, and
Mm-hmm.
secondly, it should be fresher
Right.
than the competition.
Right. Right. The age of the goods that are being sold. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
Very crudely, how stale is the product?
Right.
How many
Right.
days have happened since its manufacture?
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
see that generally for fresh food items like fruits, vegetables, bread, butter, etc. But they don't. They they didn't used to care so much for the long shelf life products, with shelf life of 2 years, 3 years. But that behavior is changing. And if you stand in the aisle of a supermarket, you would see
Mm-hmm.
roughly half the consumers turning the
Mm-hmm.
pack to see when it was manufactured, which
Right.
means they care about the age
The
of the
freshness.
product.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the freshness.
Understood.
And their decisions are influenced
Right.
by the
Right.
freshness of the product.
Right.